I forgot to switch to the starting soon. Whoopsie. Oopsie doopsie.
Ah, you're an oopsie doopsie.
Bitch, please.
Oh
One
shit.
second. Checking
We're
something.
streaming.
We
We're
are
streaming
streaming.
now. Hello, chat. Nevi's being mean to me.
There. I was fixing something. Hi, chat. I haven't
Hi,
set up the
chat.
game yet because I'm not actually sure what we're doing today. I was gonna do streams, but or games, but I also just got all 14 books of a series that I'm deeply in love with. I don't even know how long they are. And I would love to stream them for you, chat. Oh my god, this is a full scan. Oh, that's beautiful.
So what? What? You can't just sniff full scan, Nevi.
All right, fuck it. Yep, we're gonna do reading.
Reading time, baby.
No, it's not a walk-in stream. It's a reading stream.
Reading
Give me
stream
2
all
seconds.
day long. Ooh. This is some good tea, chat. I'm drinking some kind of herbal tea. That's pretty good.
Give me a short time alone with you, and then you will die by my hand. Ba 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 ba.
Why would you kill me? Why would you kill me? What would you do such a thing?
Huh?
Only a horrible person would try to kill me.
The fuck up. Fuck. 1 second. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm gonna. Oh, I'm pissed. That pisses me off. I have to fix the book reading thing because everything is out of alignment now.
Oh man.
Why is that like that? Insane. Oh, Darren knows! Oh, Darren knows. I'm so happy. That makes me happy. Give me a sec, Darren, and everyone else.
No?
I need to fix the entire fucking thing, and I gotta make sure that the disruptor is working. I won't explain too much, but I've taken some steps over the past few months that you may or may not have noticed.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely building them up over time to poison every single one of my streams. So that way if AI trains on my streams, they get fucked.
Wait, there's AIs going around looking at streams?
Oh, of course.
Imagine the fucking brain rot on it.
1 second. 1 second. I need to zoom out on myself. And then I need to get Fracta. So yeah, this is a pretty major thing that I've done. and it shouldn't at all be something that your naked eye can see without very, very, very close inspection. Okay, the
And
disruptor
what
is
is
working.
okay, so what is this disruption going?
The disruption? Oh, the disruption is just a system that I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to explain it. Ask away, I will not answer. But there is a series of systems that a series of systems. It's not just the one system that you see. No, you're good. I just don't want to explain it. There is a series of systems at play that randomize certain things in my video, and those things get just like hard coded into the video. So any training will completely fall apart and fail eventually.
Okay.
It introduces permanent imperfection, basically. You'll never have perfection. I was for a while
Uh,
considering streaming in like 120 pixels because I thought that would be really funny to just downscale my entire stream to like a fucking standard definition, but I didn't think that would actually help. All right, give me a sec. Where's my tracker? There we go. Tracker's done.
what are we gonna do now?
What?
Oh,
Not you. Something weird just happened.
okay.
Don't worry about it. I'm getting your bouncies up. Give me just a sec. We will be reading. Yes. That should be good enough. There you go, Fracta. You know, Big Walk comes out
Oh.
tonight, and I literally sat down and I'm like, I will not play it today on stream because I know, little brother AV, you want to play it with me. I was like, I don't want to play it without you. It's on sale. What? They're just doing a
We made Untitled Goose Game.
release bundle. What the fuck?
Really?
That's so cool. Yeah, they're doing a release bundle.
And we're here to tell you.
Let me go buy that. I already own Peak, so I'm gonna save some money. We will be reading though, yes. Give me just a bit. Because I'm gonna have to get more caffeine, but I'm also gonna have to get some special tea. I have a tea specifically that I use when reading. And I didn't have it prepared because I wasn't prepared to read today. Alright, Fracta, let me just...
You know what we should do? We should start a business.
Why?
Why this looks
Why should we
we
start a
should start
business?
We should start a human farm.
That's no. Stop saying words. Because every time you say words,
Yeah.
people get really upset. And I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, it's your fault.
Well, maybe people really hate me sometimes. Hmm.
You probably don't recognize this music, but this is from the anime. I guess I never really mentioned that. Yeah. This book is wildly popular. Well, was wildly popular in Japan. Um and it is to this day something that like lives rent free in my heart. Not my head, my heart. Moribito is one of those experiences that you get when you're a kid that like
Yeah.
cannot be replaced with anything else. Like
Yeah.
I literally picked up I picked up this book in my local library. I was like, this looks cool because I was a weeb, right? And the cover art, as you can see, was like very Japanese, and I'm like, this looks cool. Maybe it's Japanese inspired. And then I saw the name Nahoko Uehashi. Nahoko Uehashi, and I was like, oh, maybe it is Japanese. And I read it, and it was really fucking good. And then there just wasn't another book. Not until a couple years later, but by then, I didn't have a library to take the book out, right? And then, like, I recently I looked into this.
Yeah.
Scholastic never, and this is for chat, Scholastic never translated any of the other 13 books. It's technically a 10-volume series, but there are multiple books in some of the volumes. So they did the first two. They did Guardian of the Spirit and Guardian of Darkness, and then nothing else. Right? Absolutely.
It's fucking bullshit.
Sorry, I was talking to Aurelius. He was agreeing with me.
Hey, Hilarious.
Hilarious. Hey, Hilarious.
Hilarious.
You're hilarious.
And you're mistakenly.
Listen.
Oh, this kitty is cute.
Oh, yeah? He is now upset at me.
It's your own fault. You just kept tormenting him. He just wanted to cuddle, and you just slapped his butt.
He loves it, though. Oh, ring.
Clearly not. He's complaining.
Where's... There it is. This is not my collar. It's actually a little bell connected to blousing strap that I use to put my hair up when I do like stuff around the house that needs a lot of movement and I don't want my hair in my eyes. And I also, when I'm out in public, wear it on my wrist. So if I get distracted, Reese knows that I'm not right behind him. I get distracted a lot.
That is kind of wholesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Shut the fuck up. It's not wholesome. It's sad. I'm a sad little girl. I'm a dumb, stupid bitch. Okay? Laugh at me. Laugh at me!
No. I do not laugh at little girls.
Bro, I'm not. You said it weird. You made it weird. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some tea. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Alright, chat, it's just you and me now. You know what that means. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you from a sad little girl who doesn't get her books translated. Just you and me, broski. It's all good. Yay! You know what? I'm just gonna make sure everything is alright. You know what? From a perspective of a of someone who's not even read the books or anything like that, who's just literally just sitting here and seeing for the first time,
So,
book looks like
um,
the.
yesterday I was looking for my fishing line because I wanted to sew something. And I know that sounds crazy, chat. I'll explain in like 2 seconds. I like to use braided fishing line for certain types of sewing because braided fishing line makes for a very, very tough, like, stitch. Like, it's braided fishing line. It's meant to hold like 20 pounds, so, you know, it makes for very, very, very good stitching on specific things, right? Couldn't find my fishing line anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I went to go get some tea out of the tea cabinet. The big, like, we have a big pantry. It's where we keep like our broom and like a bunch of cleaning supplies and then some food.
Yeah.
We have a whole shelf dedicated to tea, and on the top shelf is my fucking fishing line. You see, the problem is I already solved the issue that I was having. So the issue that I was having relates to the fact that I've lost a lot of weight over the past 6 months. So my underwear don't fit me.
Wait, it just hangs on you?
No, they're just too small. They don't fit snug.
Wait, you said you lost weight.
I lost weight.
The underwear's...
So they don't. They're not snug enough. They don't fit me.
Okay.
They're not snug. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Girl undies should be snug to the skin. It's not. They don't fall off. Not quite, but they don't fit properly, right? And one of the big things is, yeah, one of the big things is that I don't want to buy more underwear.
It costs a lot to buy underwear.
So I was considering like just sewing them up, giving them a little bit more love, you know. I also actually I bought some spats recently for all of my short skirts because I want to wear spats underneath.
What's spat, by the way? Because I don't know what a spat is.
It's like a spandex like workout thing that you wear over your underwear.
A lot
of girls wear You know the black things, the black tight things that anime girls wear under their skirts sometimes?
Yeah.
That's spats.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
So I bought some spats for myself and I was like, yeah, this will be a good way for me to be able to like wear short skirts outside without worrying about people seeing my Hello Kitty panties. Right?
Yeah.
Because that just feels wrong. I don't want people to see that. Well, idiot that I am, I listened to Amazon for once. They said, based on your usual profile, you should get a large. Guess what I failed to take into account? 6 months ago, I was a large. Now I'm a small. Fuck.
Haha. I mean, that's a skill issue.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
No, don't.
Regardless,
no,
you should. You know what? I have a couple suggestions for you, Darren, and other people as well. This isn't just for losing weight. You should download the app Chronometer. I'll spell that out in chat.
Yeah, I've decided to focus more on a vegetarian diet. Not necessarily cutting myself off from meat, but kind of like saying, instead of eating 70% meat, I'm gonna go for like 70% veggies. So like, if I'm gonna have a steak, it's gonna be like a small steak on the side.
Well, yeah. Again, that's not even like that's a normal diet. That's a normal person's like thing. You're supposed to get a good amount of fresh leafy vegetables, but we'll get into that in a bit. You get this app. Now this app runs ads. There's a couple things you can do about this. You can get a new DNS server for your Android phone. Oh, well, not server, but you ad block DNS basically, right? 2, you can get an ad blocker app from F-Droid, which works. And 3, you could buy gold. I use the first 2 options. I keep an ad block app on the background just in case I need it, in case my DNS fails. But for the most part, I just keep an ad block DNS on my Android phone, and I never have to worry about ads. I block them at the door of my phone.
Nice.
Yep. So Chronometer gives me all of the features I want without me having to pay premium to get rid of ads.
Nice.
Because ads don't make the money. Ads are there to harass you to buy gold, which is how they actually make money. They make ads as annoying as possible. Ah! Hi, Nimbus!
Hi,
Oh,
Nimbus.
reminder. Share with your friends, chat. I should make a timer for that. Share with your friends, yeah?
Share with your friends. But if you're a lonely bastard, get some friends, you bastard.
I wouldn't say I personally wouldn't do graphene. There's quite a few other forks that you could work with. I don't think I wouldn't choose graphene because graphene's based on the
Cool.
Google OS in the first place, like the.
It is Nimbus. Hello, Nimbus.
Hello,
One
Fracta.
I'll be right back. My husband's calling me. Hello?
Are you?
What's up?
Alright, Nimbus, it's just you and me in chat now while Nevi's talking on the phone with her husband. How you doing, buddy?
Working as well. Yeah, hot mic as well.
Just got home from work.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Oh, you work late nights, right?
Yeah, overnight. My dorm is starting to stink of wildfire smoke.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why is that?
I'm just teasing you, mate.
Teasing me for what?
No, like you said.
Being near a wildfire?
Yeah, you said it smells.
Do you want me to
like
get burned to death?
No, you said it smells like wildfire. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my base is surrounded by wildfires.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna die.
Like,
Let's
not-
go you, mate.
Not literally pushing in on the borders, but like there's like evacuation notices for areas all around the base. It's just
Oh, fuck. I genuinely feel like now is the time we should talk about a little bit of
mortality.
and environmental friendly stuff. If you ask me why I think like that. Oh, chat. So, chat. And Nimbus, I have a really good story to tell you.
Stories.
I recently got called by my dad that yesterday he stepped on a fucking nail.
We're reading Moribito. Yay! Okay, bye, darling. I love you. Say bye to chat.
Love you too. Bye, chat.
Peace.
All right, I'm back.
Reese. Why is Reese being Reese?
What do you mean? Why is Reese being Reese? Who else is he
No,
supposed to be?
He's supposed to be my best friend.
I thought you were gonna say boyfriend, and I was gonna call you gay, and then
Well,
congratulate
you know
you on joining our hive mind.
Well, I refuse to join a hive mind.
It's too late. Welcome to the hive mind.
You're a monster.
Okay, so since you're both here, you're both gonna be doing voices because today we're not just streaming, we're reading. Wanted to stream today, so this is what we're doing. Why are you interrupting me? What do you need?
That's one issue, actually.
What?
I don't know how to read.
I don't fucking care. You'll learn. Okay?
I love you. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The music reminds me of Princess Mononoke, or at least like Studio Ghibli vibes.
It's
Does that make
Moribito. It's
sense?
the anime. Yeah.
Mm.
It does really give
Oh,
me the
I need
vibes
to move
of.
it because I flipped it so that way when I look over at you, I'm actually looking over at you in this specific area. 1 sec.
Yes.
I might have to bow out because like this
You
fucking
okay?
smoke is making me feel sick.
Oh, yeah.
There's a wildfire
Hey,
in his
yeah, I
is in
know
his
that.
building.
Hey, are all of your windows closed and stuff?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
have anything you can cover your face with? This isn't about you staying on stream. This is about your safety.
Yeah, I've got like a cooling gator I bought back in BMT that I can soak in some water.
Okay, good. Do that then. Yeah.
Why do you have so many? You have so many wildfires in your country at the moment.
That tends to happen when a good portion of the country was plains and then that got fucking decimated.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining mostly,
It's
but
more than
just
just
like
that too. Wildfires
Also,
wildfires were kind of like part of the natural cycle in America for hundreds of thousands of years as well. Just like in Australia.
Yeah.
It's just that they're getting really big this year. Like just it's more than normal, right? Like just more
yeah,
than normal wildfires, yeah.
yeah, they're getting
Also-
quite frequent nowadays.
Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
sorry.
I want to let him finish his thought, yeah.
Also, there's just stuff near where those wildfires happen that we don't want burned down now.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, and I have to say as well, like
I'll show you a true wildfire. Smokes a cigarette.
That's not a wildfire. That's just you being addicted.
Flicks it into the bushes.
That's
That's not a
There is a
wildfire.
wildfire.
That's just a normal fire that you caused. That was completely preventable.
That's just arson.
I love starting fires. A couple years back, I remember hearing something about how like one of the yearly wildfires they got was really, really bad, and it turned out the reason for that was that somebody just dumped a bunch of gasoline in a forest, set it on fire, and left.
What the fuck?
Yup. Someone
why are
just
people-
started a fire just cause they don't know who it was either, because it was like they discovered this so far into the wildfire that there was really no way to track them down.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
well,
Thanks.
That's fun.
I have to say, I think it's the same thing that happened in Los Angeles a few years back. Like it was a wildfire that spread into Los Angeles, but all of a sudden I also saw a bunch of fucking insane bastards being recorded doing, lighting more stuff on fire. Like, and I mean insane, like, homeless, like people who look homeless going around starting up fires too.
Okay. Let us start.
What a start of the day, guys.
Heard something about somebody being arrested for starting one of the fires here.
Oh, fuck.
Moribito, Guardian of the Spirit, by Nahoko Uehashi. Featuring my buddy Fracta and my other buddy Nimbus, maybe for a little while. He's probably gonna leave though, because he's being choked to death by the spirit of fire. Just being. You just see. Sorry, the image that popped in my head when I said that was an image of Homer choking his son, but Homer is made of flame.
I'm sorry for laughing at that too, but it's kind of funny.
Translated by Kachi Hirano, illustrated by Yuko Shimizu. Fuck! Are there A. Levine books? An imprint of Scholastic. Fuck you, Scholastic. I'm really pissed at Scholastic. You have no idea.
Fair. Cool.
This is the hyperlinked
Oh.
version.
Oh shit.
Part 1. The Chrysalis. At the moment the royal procession reached the Yamakage Bridge, Balsa's destiny took an unexpected turn. She was crossing the Commoner's Bridge downstream. The Aoyumi? Yeah, the Aoyumi River visible through gaps between the planks. Sorry. Never a pleasant sight. Today it was particularly terrifying. Swollen after the long autumn rains, its muddy brown waters topped with churning white foam. The rickety bridge swayed precariously in the wind. God, that's a fucking image. Dude, I will say, I'm not into a lot of light novel translations, and just a quick pause champ for this. The big reason for that is that a lot of the translations, don't, like, people translate them just pure literally, and so a lot of the subtext doesn't come with them, and so they end up really dry. That didn't happen with Moribito, and I really, really like that. Like, it's something I super fucking appreciate, because it's like, there's so much love put into this translation. Anyway, Balsa, however, sorry, go ahead.
I was just remembering trivia that, like, a lot of like Japanese written languages are like, oh yeah, this one character has like 3 or 4 different meanings.
Yeah. And so, I remember watching a video by Tal Foundry. Great channel, by the way. Love to support them. They did a video on monster fucking recently, and it was very, very good. Well, recently, like 6 months ago. Anyway, specifically, like, they found out, when they did that video, by the way, they found out that, like, just a very large portion of their audience are monster freaks. And they did it because they're like, this is like an actual cultural thing that we've seen in literature for a long time. And I want to explore the reason this exists in stories. It's like, that's cool. Anyway, so Tal Foundry did a video about lost in translation. Poetry is what's lost in translation. And all art, Tal Foundry's entire idea was that all art is translation because you're translating from the mind into the real world. But one of the things about translation is deciding how to portray something without the cultural context of that language, right? So you can take one poem and translate it 3 million different ways, and each one will have a slightly different connotation, but none of them will hold the same connotation as the original poem. And that's just that's the result of translation. But what I find is that a lot of light novel translations tend to be very low effort. Just put in the most literal thing you can, and then when some Japanese writers are just lit RPG writers, and all they write are the most literal shit in the world about like their systems, it gets really fucking boring. Anyway, Balsa, however, stepped forward without hesitation. Her long, weather-beaten hair was tied at the nape of her neck, and her face, unadorned by makeup, was tanned and beginning to show fine wrinkles. She carried a short spear over her shoulder with a cloth sack dangling from the end. Her compact body was lithe and firmly muscled under her threadbare traveling cloak. Lithe. I just really like that word. I was reading another book last night, and a dwarf described a man as weasel-like, and then went on to say that like concierges are like a fine representation of what duty is, and like service above service. And she might have to if that man ever grows a beard, the concierge, who is like weasel-like, she might have to take his bed sometime. And and our main character is like, what do you mean? You said he was weasel-like. And she's like, weasels are fine, like, animals. They're smart. They're live. And he was just like, I don't want to think about Simon like that. Nope. It was very funny.
I'm starting to get a headache. I'm going to have to
go get some water and cover your face with a wet cloth.
Yeah, and if the gas is yellow, you put piss on the cloth
Yeah.
and put it on your mouth.
Are you trying to actually kill me?
No, actually, no. Actually, that was just like a joke to watch World War One. World War One, when the gas hit, the first idea for the soldiers was piss in a cloth and use it as a cover. The ammonia it was supposed to cover. It helped a little, but not enough.
I
No.
love smelling your piss. Oh, I gotta hydrate. One sec. I get reminders every hour to
Oh.
hydrate now, because even chat isn't enough to get me to hydrate properly.
Oh yeah. Take care, Nimbus. Okay.
Will do. Have good stream. Bye-bye.
Cold. I will have a good stream.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
Okay. I have water. It's just that I sometimes forget to drink water.
I'm drinking tea.
I do have some tea. As well. Anyone versed in the martial... My nose is a little stuffy. Give me a sec. Anyone versed in the martial arts would recognize her immediately as a formidable opponent. But it was her eyes that truly arrested. Fuck! But it was her eyes that truly arrested an observer. Darkest black, startlingly intense. They made it clear that... Nose! Stop it! They made it clear that... They made it clear that she could not be easily manipulated. These eyes now glanced upstream as she strode briskly across the bridge. Maple leaves had dyed the towering mountain slopes crimson. In the distance she could see an ox-drawn carriage, its gold fastenings gleaming in the sunset as it moved across the Yamakage Bridge, which Balsa knew was reserved solely for the royal family. 20 attendants accompanied the carriage, and the red flag preceding it indicated the rank of its occupant. The second prince. He must be returning to the capital from the royal villa in the mountains, Balsa thought. She paused to watch, captivated by the beauty of that moment, suspended in time like a hanging scroll. She knew that at this distance, failure to prostrate herself could not be considered a crime. Balsa was not native to this country, and for a personal and unforgettable reason, she had very little respect for rulers of any kind. Fuck, that is a good line. And for a personal and unforgettable reason, she had very little respect for rulers of any kind.
It seems to me like the best way to quote that's, hey, she has a background story without giving like the full explanation of her background.
That's the kind of that's what we call foreshadowing, or I guess in this case it's a bit of a it's a bit of past shadowing. But realistically, what you're foreshadowing here is not just her backstory, but rather how she's going to interact with rulers in the future and with the rest of the book. You're foreshadowing a small portion of her larger character and hinting at a backstory without just going into a massive long thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually,
and that's good writing, because what you're doing there is you're setting up a hook of like a character trait that's very interesting and clearly has something behind it, and then the reader is going to want to like know about that trait and continue reading. It's very, very classic. It's one of the reasons why I kept in the podcast I keep things so close to chest with Lille only hinting at things. One day, when the right time comes, her entire backstory and all of her trauma is just going to come spilling forth, right?
Yeah.
But that time is not now.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Like, it beats the whole because I've seen a lot of texts where they just give out the whole fucking background story in the first chapter. It's like, come on, why? Like, do I have to read her like the entire page of why she didn't wipe her ass? For
in the
like
next instant.
20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, we're already 3% through. I forgot that these books are quite short, actually. So that's good, actually. That means we can make significant progress on each book, each stream.
Yeah.
In the next instant, however, the tranquil scene was shattered as the ox hurled off the servant who grasped its halter. Grasped. Sorry, I'm working on
Yeah.
pronunciation for reading as well. Rearing and charging wildly, it rushed forward and back, kicking its hooves and tossing its horns. Flashes and glimpses. Oh, yeah. That's good shit, too. Like, when you know how to write a dream properly, the disconnectedness of it can, and then, like, use a little, like, symbolism, you suddenly have, like, flashes and glimpses of backstory represented in symbolism that's not, like, direct and allows the reader to make shit up in their head and wonder. And that's how you keep a reader engaged, is making them wonder, making them want to know, and making them theorize, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The attendants were powerless to stop it. The animal seemed to have gone berserk. Balsa watched as the carriage toppled slowly to its side. And then a small figure in red was flung out of the carriage, arms and legs flailing as he plummeted toward the river below. By the time the water swallowed him, Balsa had already dropped her belongings, shrugged off her cloak, clipped the metal clasp of a rope to the end of her spear, and sent the shaft speeding toward the river. I was on a good roll there for a sec, but then some spit went down my throat while I was talking. And sent the shaft speeding toward the riverbank. It flew straight and true, sinking deep into the ground between the two rocks. From the corner of her eye, she glimpsed 3 or 4 servants leaping after the prince as she grabbed the rope firmly in her fist and dived into the murky water below. The shock as she hit the surface was like being slammed into a stone floor. She almost lost consciousness. Buffeted by the rushing torrent, she hauled on the rope and climbed onto the nearest rock. She pushed wet strands of hair from her face and stared intently at the water until she caught sight of something small and red bobbing down the river. A hand fluttered on the surface, sank, and then fluttered again. Let him have fainted. Please let him have fainted, she prayed. Getting her bearings, she leapt back into the swirling river and swam hard against the flow toward the spot where... Towards the spot where her path would cross that of the prince. The freezing water cut like a knife as it gurgled in her ears. She could just barely see the red of the prince's robe in the dark current, and she felt the cloth slip through the fingers of her outstretched hand. Balsa swore in frustration. But in that instant, something strange happened. For a second, no more than the time it took to blink, she felt herself buoyed up. The raging river was suddenly stilled. All sound faded away. Everything came to a halt within a clear blue space that seemed to stretch on forever. The prince alone stood out sharp and distinct. Without understanding what was happening, Balsa reached out to grasp his robe. As soon as her hand closed on the material, the force of the water hit her so strongly she thought it would wrench her arm off. As if that strange moment in time had been no more than a dream, with all her might, she pulled the prince to her and hooked his belt into the metal clip attached to the other end of the rope. Gripping the rope in one numb hand, she swam back to the bank, and on the verge of collapse, hauled the prince ashore. Oh, fuck. Let's go! He survived! And
Yeah,
this
let's
is
go.
this is the first chapter of this story. Like, that's just open hard on some amazing action. And you got fucking weird magic happening. We don't understand how that worked. What was that? Why suddenly did the water stop? I mean, I know why, but I'm not gonna explain why. But why did the water suddenly stop, right? Like, that's fantastic. That's good shit. He looked only 11 or 12 years old, his childish face as white as a sheet. Fortunately, he had fainted from the shock of the fall, just as Balsa had hoped. Fuck, I sound like...
Open.
Just as Balsa had hoped. He had only fainted, and this was fine. He will live. When's the book ending? I don't know. We're only like 3% through. We got a little bit of time.
Yeah, we got some time.
He had fainted from the shock of the fall, just as Balsa had hoped, and his stomach was not bloated with water. She worked to revive him until he coughed and began breathing again. Well, thank goodness for that, she sighed inwardly. Little did she know that this was
Oh,
only the
fuck.
beginning.
So this is like the opening chapter,
Chapter
for
2,
the
the
whole
flight
story.
begins. Draining the last drop of wine from her cup, Balsa breathed a contented sigh. Ah, what a surprise it had been to be invited to Ninomiya Palace. Ninomiya? Ninomiya. Ninomiya Palace. Fuck!
Aleph.
True, she had saved the prince's life, but as a foreigner, she was of even lower rank than a commoner. The most she had expected was a sum of money. Indeed, when she left the prince with his courtiers on the riverbank earlier that day, an attendant had asked where she was lodging so he could bring her a reward. One sec. That's good water. Well, tea. Sorry. But the messenger who appeared at the inn said that the prince's mother, the second queen, wished to entertain her at the palace first.
What do you mean second queen? Wait.
The second queen. There are multiple queens.
Okay.
The king has married multiple women.
Okay.
Classic, you know. The Mikado.
Classic.
The Mikado, the divine ruler of New Yogo, had 3 wives. The one who bore him his first son was known as the first queen. The one who bore his second son, the second queen. Balsa had heard that there were no further heirs to the throne beyond the second prince, as the third queen had borne no sons.
Okay.
Such tales, however, concerned people of a different sphere than hers, and she knew no more. Why am I falling into that accent? Fuck. Balsa was not so ignorant of the world that the royal invitation made her vain. She knew that royalty only treated commoners kindly when they wanted something in return. While she was fully aware that the summons meant trouble, she could hardly refuse it without appearing rude, and that would only mean worse trouble. She had no choice but to come. Still, she was being given what seemed a wholehearted welcome. The second queen must love her son very much. The room in which Balsa ate was located in the outermost reaches of the palace, but a large charcoal brazier kept the space comfortably warm, and the meal was like nothing she had ever tasted before. Crisply fried juicy chicken, a subtly flavored cream soup, and fine wine, served in an elegant glass goblet. She savored every dish without fear of poisoning, for she knew that if anyone had wanted to silence her, they would have assassinated her at the inn, not at the palace. Although the queen had summoned her, she did not come to Balsa in person, but instead sent the prince's chamberlain to convey her gratitude. Balsa was not surprised by this. According to Yogoese, just say yoga. According to Yogo belief, I don't know. It's just it's weird to take a Japanese word and then add ease at the end. That's a translation hiccup. I would even say Yogoan would be better, right? Rather than Yogoese, it'd be Yogoan. It flows off the tongue more, and if we need to have like this is the people of Yogo like word in English, Yogoan sounds so much better.
You know, I have to say, I feel like the whole exposition or the whole chapter at the moment has been like more like giving us the what do you call it, the world, like it's world building chapter, if you know what I mean.
You would say that, but see, the beautiful thing about this author is that they know the difference between world building and like needless prattling. So we are getting world building, but we're still getting like consistent movement forward of how Balsa acts, how she thinks, what she thinks of the world, and how she interacts with the world. We're getting explanations of things, but it's not explanations for the sake of explanations. It's explanations from the perspective of Balsa, giving us insights into her character and how she interacts with the world around her. And that's just the best way to do a lot of world building most of the time, right? World building is fun. Yeah. I love creating new ideas and adding those ideas to a repertoire of like old ideas, right? But don't explain to the reader. Let Balsa think about it, right? Let the main character think about this thing. Unless you're playing a TTRPG, then you have to explain it to the player. That's just how that works. There's nothing you can do about that. But only if they roll good. Balsa was not surprised by this. According to Yagoan belief, members of the royal family were direct descendants of the great god Ten no Kami, and the divine power within them could unintentionally harm those in its path, like water flowing downhill. A commoner could be blinded just looking into their eyes. Where's my phone?
That sounds very. Well, I want to say.
You want to call bullshit on it, don't you?
Yeah, I want to say kind of bullshit. Like
I have good
really
news for you.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Magic exists in
man.
this world, bud.
Oh,
I won't tell you anything more. Fuck, I gotta drink water again. 1 sec. Hydration check. Okay, we're good. I won't say any more, but that weirdness that happened in the river, that wasn't just like Balsa making something up. That was real. Magic happened.
Fuck.
Magic exists in this world. And there's nothing you can do about that. You're gonna die, Fracta. Actually, I really need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. We're gonna take a small break.
Okay.
Talk to
break?
chat about what you think so far. We will continue this book shortly.
Okay. What if then, chat? You and I will be sitting here talking about what we think about the game and everything like that, or not the game, but the book. Okay. So, what I think at this moment is that the book was pretty well. So far, I only listened or read, as we can say, the chapter 1, and I genuinely feel like it gives a sort of like episodic feeling. You know, when you watch a movie or a show or an episode, and the first episode, which would be kind of like a pilot or like introduction to the whole story, it start off with like showing how what the world is. Like, this is the world. I genuinely feel that this is how it is now. I haven't heard any characters talk and like that, but it gives also an explanation of, explaining the way that she's a foreigner. She's not really well known within that area. Kind of like how I don't know. I don't know how to explain it more. I'm looking for the right words here, chat. So go on a second. I'm gonna see if you have any words, chat, for me. If I'm just being stupid, not hooked yet. Yeah, I do agree. The book seemed well
Give
written,
me just a
but
sec.
so far,
I'm also
So far-
taking some time to, so I was cleaning some like cloths and like fucking towels and
Yeah.
stuff in the bathroom. So I'm just taking some time to put that through the rinse cycle. I just gotta fill up a big bucket with hot water and just let them soak for the rest of the day. So give me a
Okay.
bit.
no. All right, so chat. To give you at least like what I think of it is that it's like an episode or the start of a movie where it shows the world. It explains how explains at least like how the hierarchy system works. At least from a perspective of from her perspective, because it would be boring if they just give out like, okay, this is the world, this is how the hierarchy works, yada yada yada. Now you're up to speed how the world works. It's more fun to read or experience the world from a fresh perspective, like from a commoner or the character's perspective of how the system works, without directly saying how this is how the system works. I mean, for example, I really liked when let's just say you're supposed to be a police officer in a far futuristic land, and the futuristic land is supposed to be like a real gritty, dark, almost hellscape cyberpunk universe. But you are the cop in this story. that would be you start beginning the story with his perspective as being the cop who is supposed to hold up the laws per se that exist in that universe, which is pretty good if you ask me. This why I think like that is pretty good. However, we haven't heard anything from the characters, just like a action scene where she saves an 11 to 13-year-old kid. I think it was at 11. And now she's been invited by the queen. Excuse me, second queen. Anyways, what I think from it right now is that it's pretty good, well written. It was pretty much an action scene right at the beginning. Gives an explanation of how she sees the world, that she is a foreigner, she doesn't like royalty for personal reasons, which
I'm back, by the way.
Yeah.
I
Welcome back.
I went to go get more water. Well, it's actually more caffeine, but it's also water. But yeah, no, I made beef jerky yesterday.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. She's a foreigner. She doesn't like nobles and everything like that.
Oh yeah,
So-
Darren, it's a
Yeah.
curried maple jerky.
Wait, maple Yorkie? What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck is a
maple
Yorkie?
maple. It's not real gas station jerky. This is the good homemade shit. Like, I made this stuff. It took me like, I want to say 5 or 6 hours yesterday. Oh, dude, Delva, you're the
Oh,
goat.
yeah.
You know what's up. No. So, I took it and I marinated it in this marinade I made for jerky specifically a while back, but it wasn't good enough. So I did a second marinade. It's not really a marinade. It was a mixture of maple syrup, soy sauce. Nah, that's real, Theryd. Well, see, the thing is, it's so easy to make jerky. I wouldn't even say you should buy the pre-made expensive stuff, right? It really is that easy.
I'm feeling I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right
No,
back.
please. We'll be getting back to the book shortly.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Well, see, this is the best part, Dova. Jerky doesn't have to be beef. This is a very common misconception that, like, the fat content in beef makes it perfect for jerky. No, it's in fact, the fat content in beef makes jerkying beef more difficult. And that's why only specific types of beef are good for making jerky. Otherwise, it gets too hard or too soft, or it has enough fat in it that it'll go rancid quickly. Like, these things are super, super important. Just like super important to take into account. The best kind of jerky you can make is chicken. Chicken breast makes the best jerky. And I'm not saying this out of like a hate for beef. I love beef jerky. But chicken is low in fat.
Yeah.
Fuck Debbie. She's a piece of shit. Sorry. Chicken is low in fat. Chicken has a high moisture content. So you can, as you after you marinate it, cut it and get it into shape. No, you won't get salmonella at all. The drying of it, you do at the minimum safe temperature. That's the secret to making a good jerky. You're actually cooking the meat. I do my beef jerky at 145, which is the minimum safe temperature, and I do that for hours, right? It lets the internals reach the minimum safe temperature for beef, right? And lets me get a nice rare flavor, like a rare steak, out of the beef. And you can do the same thing with chicken. The problem is with chicken, you have to be careful because if you let it sit too long, it's not like beef. It doesn't have the fat content that will keep it flexible. So it will just become like dry if you dry it too much. You want to bring the moisture content down a lot. You don't want to bring it down to 0 because now mind you, dried chicken and dried meat is great for camping because you can just throw that into a pot with some potatoes and some water, and you got yourself a good soup, right? But it's not good for chewing on a hike because it just goes crunch and then it hurts. It hurts to chew dry meat. That would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense, Dova. But yeah, no, you can make jerky out of turkey. You can make jerky out of any meat, really, except for fish. Fish, you can make dried fish. You can't really make jerky out of it, though. You can make jerky out of squids, though. Squids, octopi. You can make out of pork, and actually, pork makes a decent jerky, but you need to get specific cuts. It's another one of those things where no, I feel you. I feel you. But like the pork is one of those things where you need to get a specific cut again, and that can be very, very difficult. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So going back to what I was saying before. Actually, wait, no. I need to look something up before we continue. I need to know how much water is in a Gamer Sup's cup.
Oh shit.
I don't use their waifu cups.
The waifu cups.
The big
What do we
reason
do
I
with
don't
the
use their
waifu?
waifu cups is because their waifu cups are kind of dog shit.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It's not like I like the prints on them, but for the longest time the actual prints on them would just easily flake off if you're not super careful with it, and I hate that. That sucks. Right? I don't want that. So I usually just get a regular cup, but I don't know how big their waifu cups are. 24 ounces. Okay, so now I
Yeah.
need to turn that into milliliters.
Yeah.
No fucking way. That's 700 milliliters? What?
What? Wait, 700 millimeters of gamer
What?
subs?
No. I 700 milliliters of water.
Oh.
Yeah, 24
like
ounces is 700 milliliters. Okay. So I'm well within my my goals today for water intake. That's good.
Pretty good. What are you doing?
I'm shaking my cup of cold water.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's disgusting.
We don't get 1 liter cartons of milk in America. They're all in gallons over here.
Wait, you want to have gallons?
We only have gallons and half gallons.
You gotta at least have like a long.
We don't have liters.
Yeah,
Doesn't work that way.
you
No.
gotta have. You gotta have like a longevity thing.
What do you mean longevity?
And like
This isn't iced coffee. This is fucking the yogurt effect. Go ahead.
no, I meant like I meant like if you have like a gallon of milk, you're at least gonna have a long, like it's gonna last long. Because I can't imagine a person or
a gallon lasts about 2 weeks for me. Yeah, and I'm the only one who drinks milk in the house.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good.
I devour milk though. Like I fucking love that shit.
Well, I only use milk for tea, and cooking. So.
Anyway, let us continue. Let us continue.
All
Reese
right.
doesn't drink much milk now. He only drinks chocolate milk, and I don't let him do that very often because that's usually pretty high in sugar. Though I do make him chocolate milk sometimes that is sugar free, and it's very good. I make a damn good chocolate milk.
Understandable.
Balsa turned to the Chamberlain now and bowed. "Thank you for the delicious meal," she said. "A commoner such as I does not deserve such an excellent dinner." The Chamberlain, his white beard elegantly trimmed, bowed his head. It is hardly sufficient repayment for saving the prince's life. Her Highness asks that you stay in the palace tonight. Balsa frowned slightly. I couldn't possibly take advantage of such kindness. Please tell her this delicious meal is more than enough. No, no, truly. The Chamberlain
Protestant.
protested. No, I know, my nose got in the way. I'm gonna take a fucking, Claritin. Oh my god. Fucking hate allergies, dude.
You know what I like?
What?
I don't like allergies.
No,
I like.
truly, the Chamberlain protested. He patted Balsa on the shoulder, as if to reassure her there was no need to stand on ceremony, but then whispered quickly and almost soundlessly in her ear, "The Queen has need of you. Please stay the night." Immediately his voice returned to normal. "The palace's hot spring bath is marvelous. I'm sure you will never forget it." Balsa bowed her head in assent. She had no choice but to accept. I'm sorry for stealing the first male character from Euphrakta. I saw Old Man and I was like, oh, I get to practice my old man voice. Let's go. I was excited.
You know, I'm gonna be angry now and have a temper.
You're gonna be
tantrum.
angry? Come on, I fucking blew that performance out of the water. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a temper.
You can at least acknowledge that I did a damn good job.
Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
You're a cunt.
No, I'm just gonna be a wee baby.
You'll be a wee baby before I get done with you. I'm gonna stick me finger in your arse. And cast me a magic spell that make you explode.
Oh yeah. Oh, quick
That fell
notification.
apart. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's up?
Quick notification. I have to it's not. I don't have to go to bed yet, but I have to go to bed soon. So maybe we can read a chapter or two, more depending on the time.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
True to the Chamberlain's words, the bath was excellent. After a luxurious soak in the marble bathhouse, its hot spring waters piped in as only the nobility could afford, Balsa stepped outside and walked toward the outdoor pool in a corner of the walled garden. The cold night air bit her skin, but when she slipped hurriedly into the steaming tub, the heat spread slowly through her. White steam rose into the night air, and the red autumn leaves swayed in the hazy light of the torches placed about the garden. Above her wheeled a dark sky full of stars. I'll just have to take things as they come. Balsa thought. Once out of the bath, she put on the fresh underclothes that had been laid out for her. But then donned her old traveling clothes. The serving woman attending her frowned. I set out new clothes. Balsa smiled. Thank you, but I think I'll be more comfortable wearing the clothes I'm used to. A commoner like me isn't used to such luxury. Besides, she continued, I always carry a change of clothes, so it's not like I never wash them. The serving woman smiled stiffly and led the way down a long, dark corridor to Balsa's sleeping quarters. Quarters? Why did I say it like that? Quarters. Fuck. I'm thinking of, like, palaces and shit, and so my voice is slipping into, like, just the most basic, refined accents I have. Sliding doors covered in luxurious gold and silver. Holy shit! What? Your doors are covered in gold and silver. Okay. Fucking cunt.
Okay, that's
too much.
That's
That's your I mean, yeah, they're the royal family, right? Rulers of an
Yeah.
entire country, but still.
Yeah, like,
Gold
I'm
and
not
silver.
against
Go ahead.
I'm not against them showing off. I'm just saying, at some point you gotta say it, and that's not worth the
What is
resources.
that word? What is that word? And time to learn that word. Oh, that's not actual gold and silver. That is, I see. Okay, so it is a type of fabric. So this is more expensive than gold and silver. Take a look at this. This is 19th century brocade. I believe that's how it's pronounced. No, brocade. Yeah, it's brocade.
Brocade.
It is, it's colored silks with gold and silver thread. Yeah, it is really, really pretty too, though. Look at some of the embroidery in this is fucking amazing.
It is kind of ornate and detailed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then it would make sense. I thought they were literally lining things with gold, and I
I
was
mean,
like,
it does have actual gold and silver. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, but I understand if it's like
But I know what you mean.
fabric
Yeah.
wise.
See, this
Yeah.
gives context. So for context, chat, a brocade is a class of richly decorative shuttle woven fabrics, often made in colored silks and sometimes with gold and silver threads. The name comes from Italian broccato, meaning embossed cloth. Originally past part, that doesn't matter. You just, God, this article pisses me off because this is not how Wikipedia is supposed to be, like, written. The etymology is supposed to be a separate section. What are you fucking doing? I should flag this for
Fake.
fixing. No, not for fake, just for fixing. Anyway, did you know that Wikipedia is running a picnic soon?
No, I had no idea actually.
Yeah, they're doing a New York City picnic. Not that I could afford to go out there, but still, that's cool. You could go to New York City and have a picnic with a bunch of fucking Wikipedia nerds. I do love Wikipedia.
This sound kind of fun, like trying
It
to find
does,
some new
right?
friends. I would actually like to do that. The same thing with me, actually. Oh, sorry. I am very nerding out a bit because I really want to be like my genuine thought is if when I get to Canada or in the north or somewhere in North America, I really want to spend time in the medieval fairs in or Renaissance fairs in North America. Just have fun with that, you know. Sorry, continue the
You're good.
story.
You're
I
good.
want.
You're
I want
good.
gold and silver brocaded and close to the room on all sides.
No, you're doing it again. You said gold and silver brocade enclosed to the room on all sides. There was no two.
Yeah. Oh.
Gold and silver brocade enclosed the room on all sides. Balsa guessed that each door opened into a room similar to her own. Her bedding was already laid out in the middle of the room on thick straw tatami mats. Do you know what a tatami mat is, Fracto?
No.
Okay. Let me get you a picture.
I suspect it's
It's a soft flooring used in Japan. Here you go. Usually it comes in different qualities, mind. So it's not something to like really think too crazy about. But nowadays tatami isn't just made of like straw. It also has a core made of foam, which allows it to stay soft for a longer period of time. But tatami is a soft flooring that also acts as an extra level of like insulation from the cold. And so
oh yes, it's like that, or it's
yeah,
just like that. So it get now that I understand it, it gives the image of like a Japanese home or like that movies where they walk around in socks in is very padded rooms.
or just barefoot. Yeah. The
Yeah,
padding on the
okay.
bottom, that's made of straw. Specific types of straw, and it's made in different ways, but yes. I give you a salute, Dared. She made sure that her spear and belongings were placed close at hand. Then, loosening only her sash, she crawled under the covers and stretched out. The mattress felt heavenly. It's as soft as a cloud, she thought. The nobility must sleep like this every night. But for me, it's a little taste of paradise. I wonder how long it'll last. What's that sound?
What's that?
Not you, you're good. Despite her awareness of impending danger, she let the warmth of the bath and the exhaustion of the day take hold of her. Most people fall asleep gradually, drifting back and forth between deeper and lighter sleep. Even when they wake, they do not regain full consciousness immediately. Balsa, however, could drop instantly into a deep sleep, as if tumbling to the bottom of a ravine, and when she woke, she was completely alert. A custom acquired through long years of training. God, I feel that. Ugh. She snapped awake in the middle of the night at the sound of the footsteps approaching. 2 people were drawing near, not from the corridor, but from one of the other rooms. Despite the caution they took, she could tell they were amateurs who did not know how to silence their footfalls. She sat up abruptly. A voice whispered from behind one of the doors. "Balsa?" She was surprised to hear it was a woman. "I'm awake. Come in," she responded. The door slid open and a shadowy figure entered, bearing a silver candlestick in one hand and leading a smaller figure by the other. Balsa's eyes widened when she saw the pale face illuminated by the feeble light of the candle. Possible, she thought, but there was no mistake. The face belonged to the boy she had rescued from the river last evening, the second prince. "Your Majesty," she stammered. Their eyes met, and Balsa wondered if she would go blind. But far from being filled with lightning, the eyes that looked into hers were drooping with exhaustion. See, that I think that's one of the big misconceptions too. The women aren't the ones they marry into the royal family. It's the male lineage, the kings that are the ones that are like actually, obviously, related because they're the ones that take over. But yeah, the boy seemed about to fall asleep. I feared for you, the woman said softly. But looking into the eyes of royalty has not blinded... I guess she did have it. But looking into the eyes of royalty has not blinded you. I should have expected as much from a woman reputed to be so strong. Balsa realized that the slender young woman before her was none other than the second queen. Maybe, this is something that I was never clear on, maybe it's a system where they find the queens through testing or whatever, and if they have magical aptitude, they get married in. I'm not really sure. That hasn't been clarified to me, because in this book, most of it is about Balsa and the young prince. We don't really get much more out of the royal family. The Mikado's second wife. She scrambled it! She scrambled hastily out of bed and onto the floor, where she knelt stiffly, her head bowed low. The queen began to speak in a low voice. Thank you for saving the prince's life yesterday. I'm always terrified to cross that river on the way to the mountain villa, but you dived into it from a bridge. 4 of his attendants jumped into the river after him, but only one survived. The bodies of the others have not yet been found. The poor men, Balsa thought. She closed her eyes. If they had not dived in after the prince, they would surely have been accused of failing to try to save him. The thought that death was their only option filled her with helpless pity. You must be wondering why we came to you at night, and why I wished to speak with you alone. Balsa, raise your head and look at me. She did as she was told. Balsa, raise your head and look at me. She did as she was told, and the sight caught at her heart. Fuck! She did as she was told, and the sight caught at her heart. Though the queen was still young, her face was as pale and drawn as if she were ill, but her eyes brightened as she looked at Balsa. It is just as the rumor reported, she exclaimed. You look so brave and bold. The serving women told me what the men said about you. Although you are a woman, you make your living by guarding others. There are none in the trade who do not know the name of Balsa, spear wielder, a wanderer from Canball, fluent in many tongues, a spearwoman who has saved many lives. Is this not so? Balsa looked away. The rumors you have heard are far from glamorous, are far too glamorous, I'm afraid. I'm just a bodyguard. I protect people for money. That's my job. The queen nodded. So if you are paid, you will save someone, yes? Well, no, that's not quite. Balsa searched for words to explain. I suppose in plain terms you're right. But there's no guarantee that I can always save the person I protect. The queen's face grew stern. That is strange. I have little association with the outside world, yet I know that the item sold must have the same value as the item bought. If what you are selling is saving lives, then you must save the person's life if you are to receive payment. Balsa smiled suddenly. She had courage after all, this queen. That's correct, she replied. And if I fail to do so, I do not get any money. The queen frowned. Why? Are you paid only after your work is finished? I'm usually paid half the money at the beginning of the job and the rest at the end. But that's not what I meant. What I was trying to explain is that if I fail in my work, it means I'm dead. The queen fell silent for a moment. Then she asked, Why do you do it then, if it means risking your life? My lady, I'm sorry. My lady, I'm sorry. But if I told you my whole story, the night would turn to day. Oh, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Oh, that's actually.
I gotta
I'm not gonna
piss.
tell you my backstory. All
I
right.
gotta piss. I'll be
All
right
right, we
back.
gotta
I
take
gotta
a piss,
piss.
guys.
The kitty
We
cat.
gotta take
I'm
a
gonna
piss.
bite you. You're about to fall off.
Oh, sure. No shit. We have had a actually really good night that they started talking to each other. I feel like they're building up some kind of like I don't know how to say it. It feels good. It's a good book. Any more than that, I don't really know what to say. However, I kind of like that they start to talk to each other now. They're trying to explain and they're having a little chat. Though it is quite, how do I put this? How do I put this? It's quite interesting how like they start talking to each other. Like they start.
I wish fucking Claritin would work on my nose already. Go ahead, you were saying?
No,
Oh.
I was talking about what I'm think about the situation right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I like it so far. They start talking and giving us more backstory on how it works, right? Like not works, but gives us more backstory of what she thinks, how she handles things. You know, though it gives me kind of like worried that the queen is like, yeah,
Mm.
uh, it just gives like an understanding. This is what we need.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Thanks, Fracta, for finishing
What?
your thought.
I didn't finish my thought. What did I? Did I
No,
finish
you
my
kind of
thought?
just cut yourself off after I burped and just didn't say anything else?
No, okay. No, I just genuinely think it's pretty cool story. They start talking to each other now, and giving more explanation of what's going on. But I feel like the second queen has something, because she's like sneaking in the night. She wants you to come to her place and hang out, and she wants to talk to you in the night. It's getting somewhere into like, if this was like a lesbian thing, that's understandable. But I feel like she's trying to
What?
conspire.
Okay, wait. A lesbian thing. She has her son with her. He's like 11.
I completely blacked out with his son. I'm so sorry. I
You're
kind of forgot that
such a
I'm with her.
fucking dumbass sometimes. Oh my god.
Hey, it's not my fault.
The queen hesitated, then glanced at her son, who had fallen sound asleep against the sliding door. Balsa had already guessed that she wished to hire her as his bodyguard. There must be trouble of some kind brewing in the palace. And the queen, fearing for her son's life, wanted Balsa to protect him. As an outsider, she would have no connections with the court. She would be merely a new pawn that no one had ever seen or heard of. And after her rescue of the prince, Balsa must seem like a miracle worker to the queen. She seriously believes that I can save the prince, Balsa thought. But against palace intrigues, it's impossible. But what the queen said next surpassed her wildest speculations. I have come to you tonight, resolved to part with my son forever. Balsa's head jerked up in surprise. The queen gazed at her steadily. I am certain that the ox's rage on the bridge yesterday was no coincidence. Someone is trying to kill him. 2 weeks ago, when he was bathing, a rock at the mouth of the hot spring crumbled and boiling water shot from the spout. If he had not slipped and fallen at that exact moment, he would have died a horrible death. Forgive me, Your Highness, but are you sure it wasn't an accident? Balsa expected the queen to be angry, but she only sighed. That's what everyone insists, but only because they do not understand why anyone would want to kill him. The candle made a sputtering sound. About 2 months ago, when we were in the villa on the mountain, my son began moaning in his sleep, as if he were disturbed by a nightmare. He seemed to have the same dream every night, yet when he woke up, he remembered nothing, but a very strong feeling lingered in his mind. She fell silent, as if she found it hard to go on. What kind of feeling? He said he wanted to go home. Go home? To where? Somewhere he didn't know, but the feeling was so strong that it deeply disturbed him. Soon we had to keep watch over him at night, or he would wander off in his sleep. When this tale reached the Mikado's ears, he came to the villa with a star reader. Fuck.
Oh,
Sorry.
what happened?
His name was Gakai. Oh, sorry. Also knew that the star readers were scholars who lived in the Star Palace, and had a thorough knowledge of Tendo, the divine forces that control this world and the next. Hi! Hello, kitty cat. Oh, yeah? You itchy up there? I got you. Is that better?
No, it's not better.
Not you. I was talking to the kitty cat. You're a dumb cat. You're stupid. You're a stupid idiot, fucking dumb, stupid idiot cat, and I fucking love you. You dumb, stupid idiot. Sorry. His name was Gakai, the queen continued. He listened to what the prince told him, then stayed up all night to watch over his sleep. That night a terrible thing happened. Her lips trembled. A little past midnight, when everyone else had fallen asleep, I was jolted wide awake. I was conscious, but I could not move. I forced my head to turn and looked at the prince. It was amazing. He was glowing with a pale blue pulsing light. It was as if he were a chrysalis, with some other creature growing inside of him. Then I heard a voice. The star reader was chanting, his voice shaking. I saw him raise a shining sword above my son. Forgetting myself, I gathered all my strength and screamed. Instantly the light disappeared, almost as if I were waking from a dream. Sound and the chill night air returned, and I realized that during those moments I had heard and felt nothing. The prince lay sleeping as if nothing had happened, and for a moment I thought I truly had been dreaming. But it was clearly no dream, because the star reader was drenched in sweat, as if someone had thrown hot water over him, and he was glaring at me. Glaring at you, Your Highness. The queen clenched her teeth. He said something terrible, something absolutely outrageous to me. He must have been so ashamed that I had seen his fear. She was trembling, but somehow she managed to spit out the words. He pointed at the prince, and he dared to ask me whether the blood of the Mikado really ran in his veins. But why? The queen glared at Balsa. Why? I would like to know myself. No matter how I pressed him, he only shook his head. Then he said, sooner or later, he who sleeps there will die. Sobs escaped her lips. I was furious. I asked him how he could predict the prince's death without taking measures to protect him. But he said, if he were truly of royal blood, that thing would not be inside him. So do not accuse me of foretelling the death of a prince. The boy woke suddenly, startled by the sound of his mother's weeping. He patted her timidly on the back, clearly trying to comfort her. Then he turned to glare at Balsa. His eyes were so strikingly like the queen's that it wrenched her heart. "Did you insult my mother?" Sorry. "Did you
Wait,
insult my mother?" he demanded.
Oh shit.
Shh.
It's a...
The queen covered his mouth with her small hand. "You have misunderstood. You chose a good time to wake, Chagam. I was asking her to save your life." Balsa broke into a cold sweat, acutely aware that she was being drawn inexorably into deep trouble. "Your Highness, please, wait a minute." "No, let me finish my story first, please." Chagam looked up at his mother in surprise. Balsa was sure that he had never seen her plead with a commoner before. "Chagam, you must listen carefully, too. Although you are far too young, you must engrave my words on your mind, and remember that you may never have the chance to hear them again." He nodded obediently. "I have thought day and night about what the Star Reader said, and I think I finally understand. He did not reveal any details to me. In fact, I think that he himself does not know what is inside my son, only that it is so terrible it will kill him. But he did make one thing very clear. Whatever this creature is, no one from the gods could ever be chosen to harbor it. Therefore, if it is inside Chagam, he cannot possibly be the Mikado's child." That is what the Star Reader meant. "You mean the Mikado is not my father?" Chagam stared at her wide-eyed. She answered him clearly, her voice quiet but intense. "I swear by earth and heaven, you are the Mikado's son." Then she looked at Balsa. "That at least I know for certain, which means that some power that even the Star Reader doesn't understand is working upon Chagam. Thus I wrote in secret to a highly reputed magic weaver in the capital, presenting it as a riddle to solve rather than something that had actually happened." "What was the name of this magic weaver?" "Master Torogai." And the message went through? You were lucky. Torogai wanders like the wind and is almost impossible to find. Once again the prince looked bewildered. Obviously he had never seen a commoner speak to his mother like this before, either. When Balsa smiled at him, he frowned. Not a very friendly child, she thought.
So the kid you saved is just a dick.
"Are you sure that magic weaver was any good?" he asked. Sorry, go ahead, Frakta. Go ahead, Frakta.
It's like the kid you saved is just a dick.
No, he's just a child. Doesn't know better yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, as far as I could learn, the very best. The queen looked calmer now, and a faint smile touched her lips. This was the essence of the reply. I cannot say exactly what this creature is, but if it is the thing believed to have been destroyed long ago, the bear will only die if he fails to protect the creature inside him. If he can keep himself and the creature alive until the midsummer solstice, he should survive. That's all. The queen nodded. This reply seemed to offer only more riddles, so I immediately sent a second message asking for a clearer answer, but by then Torogai had left the capital. To go where, no one knew. Still, I was happy that there was some hope. Her eyes grew stern again. But my relief did not last. Very soon after that, the accidents began. It was then that I realized the Star Reader's words had another, more sinister meaning. The prince clenched his fists. Rumors that the prince carry such a creature would destroy the Mikado's reputation as a descendant of the gods. To prevent this, he decided to have Chagam killed before anyone finds out, and to make his death appear to be an accident. My own father! The queen put her hand over the boy's mouth again and drew him close in a tight embrace. You must not hate him. He has no choice. Listen, should he try to help you by summoning an exorcist, rumors would be bound to spread. Then it would no longer affect just you. It would affect the Mikado's honor, his reputation, the entire future of this country. As long as you are his son, the prince, he must kill you. Her voice shook. As long as you are his son, the prince, he must kill you. Her voice shook and died away on the last words. Silence fell. Desperately suppressing her sobs, the young queen cleared her throat and looked squarely at Balsa. I thought about this carefully. Yesterday, when I saw them bring Chagam into the palace, his wet hair clinging to his face, I made my decision. I want him to live. Even if he is no longer royal, he will still have a chance to experience the many joys of life. He will know what it is to fall in love, to be blessed with children. If I can know that somewhere he is alive and safe, I think I can bear it, even if it means I never see him again. Separation is much, much better than the grief of seeing him dead. And if he is ever to have that chance, that time is now. Balsa, you are strong. I will give you a reward that no commoner could hope to receive in a lifetime. Please save my child, protect him for me, and make sure that he has a happy life. Gently, she pushed the prince from her arms and removed 2 bags from inside her robe. She loosened the strings that fastened the richly woven sacks. Gold glittered brightly in one, and pearls in the other. She looked up at Balsa confidently, but then froze in surprise. Balsa remained totally unmoved, even at the sight of so much treasure. Your Highness, she said, I've already explained that no matter how much you might give me, it's no good to me if I'm dead. Forgive my rudeness, but I must speak plainly. You have dealt me an unfair and cowardly blow. The queen went pale and began to tremble violently. What do you mean? I saved the prince's life, yet you reward me by taking my life. What would you call that but unfair and cowardly? I never said anything about taking your life. Balsa looked her directly in the eye. Are you sure? I am of lowly birth. If you summon me here, I have no choice but to come. If you wish to speak to me, I have no choice but to listen. And now that I've listened, I have 2 choices left. To die trying to do your bidding, or to refuse and die now. Both paths will certainly lead me to my death. She knew the prince was glaring at her, but she ignored him, to gaze steadily at the queen. Standing as she was on the brink of death, she couldn't care less if she was being insolent. I see, the queen said. You are right. I am indeed being unfair and a coward, but I was left no choice. I do not care if it is unfair or not. I will do whatever I must to protect him. She lifted her chin. It is true that you cannot be allowed to live now that you know the secret. Which do you choose, Balsa Spear Wielder? To die here, or to protect the prince, take the treasure, and gamble on survival? Balsa smiled icily. There are 3 men behind me. Another 2 in the corridor, and 3 more behind you. You could trust only 8 people, my queen. Nobody move. If you do, my spear will pierce the prince's heart. Sorry. There are 3 men behind me. Another 2 in the corridor, and 3 more behind you. You could trust only 8 people, my queen? Nobody move. If you do, my spear will blah, blah, blah. Nobody move. If you do, fuck! Nobody move. If you do, my peer will pierce the prince's fuck! Nobody move. If you do, my spear will pierce the prince's heart. Her spear was already in her hand. She had snatched it up when the other 2 had glanced away. She could feel the men's anger from behind the doors. The queen stared at Balsa, biting her lip. Now, your highness, said Balsa. Let me have that treasure and the prince. The queen hugged the boy to her and glared. Hurry, Balsa urged. Once dawn comes, it will be too late for us to get away. If you want us to escape safely, you must bring a dark cloth to cover his face and tell me a safe way out of the palace. When you think we've reached it, set fire to the prince's bedroom. You can say he started it while lost in a nightmare, and the fire spread too quickly for you to save him. You must make sure they think the prince is dead. They will begin to suspect something when they don't find a body in the ruins. But the time it takes them to make that discovery will determine our fate. Our success depends on how convincingly you act your part. The queen looked at her speechlessly. The ice had melted from Balsa's smile. I was just a little frustrated. How could I choose to die now? I am, after all, a bodyguard, and I accept the prince as my charge. Now hurry. Tears slid down the queen's cheeks. They had to keep their movements secret, for not everyone in the palace could be trusted. And it was some time before they were ready to depart. By the time Balsa carried the prince to the palace where the secret route out of the palace began, the black night was already tinged with the bluish hint of dawn. Oh, let me get the map for this book out, by the way. One sec.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need to see the map because they're giving a lot of descriptions of the whole place.
If I can't give you a map, I can at least give you the starting city. Yeah, I can't find a map of it. One sec. Damn, dude. Yeah, I can't find any.
Oh man.
Map. I know there's maps in the books later on. I just don't know which ones. I also have to deal with the fact that some of these images are fucking. One moment. Here, I'll give you this instead.
Let me see. But what is this? Oh.
This is from the manga. Yeah.
This is actually good. This is actually.
Yes, it is
Heavily
good. I know. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It gives like this 3D vibe, but it's also like she's going down the mountain.
That is not a mountain. That is an alluvial fan. Allow me to show you what an alluvial fan looks like. So, at the base of a mountain are alluvial fans. It's an accumulation of sediment that fans outwards from a source, usually a river. It's something similar to a river delta, but it's just the sediment having been left behind. Alluvial fans tend to be used in Asia to make rice paddies.
Oh.
Yep, that's where a lot of rice paddies come from. So this is an alluvial fan. Basically, you have the river, you have the channel that fed the fan, with hard base like rock, and then like mountains, and that fan is moving downward, mind you. And then you just change them into rice paddies. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is actually.
Remember, chat,
that is
you
actually
need to gain the instinct when reading or looking at anything to immediately search something on Wikipedia if you don't know what it is.
Welcome to the
go ahead.
rice fields, motherfucker.
Welcome to the rice field, motherfucker. I don't know if I can find. I mean, the Star Palace I found, but that's an octagonal tower. That's fine. Yeah, I can't find a map. Sorry. They had to keep their movements secret, for not everyone in the palace could be trusted. And it was some time before they were ready to depart. Okay. Back to it. By the time Balsa carried the prince to the place where the secret route of the palace began, the black night was already tinged with the bluest hint of dawn. Oh, do you guys want this OST, by the way? Let me post this in chat for everybody. The morning air nipped their cheeks and turned their breath to a frosty white. They would leave the grounds through the large pipe that drained the baths. It reeked of sulfur, and Balsa paused at the entrance for one last taste of fresh air. Suddenly they heard voices in the distance, an uproar that grew ever louder. Though they could not hear any words, a faint glow appeared in a corner of the dark silhouette of the palace. And then suddenly they saw a burst of flame, like an oiled torch touched with fire. Balsa set the boy down and pulled his small body toward her. He resisted at first, but then leaned passively against her, still numbed by the sudden upheaval in his fortunes. still numbed by the sudden upheaval in his fortunes. Look there. The boy who was a prince is dying in those flames. When the sun rises, you will no longer be the prince. You will only be Chagam. Chagam. You will only be Chagam. Remember that. The boy struggled to suppress his sobs. No one knows what his fate will be. If you live, there may come a day when you will see your mother again. If you die, that will never happen. Do you understand, Chagam? He pressed his lips together and looked up at Balsa. Then, wiping away his tears violently, he nodded once. He has spirit, Balsa thought. She smiled. Then, giving him a gentle shove in the back, she led him forward into the black mouth of the pipe. We are 1/10 through the first book out of 13
All right.
books.
That's a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I assume you have you got to sleep?
In about I have to sleep in about.
Yeah,
a few
that all
minutes.
right. That all right had a level of finality to it that I usually associate with you going to bed.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, it feels like an episode. You know,
An episode?
an anime episode.
Well, yeah.
Giving it,
Yeah, this OST
giving
this OST is from the Moribito anime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it feels
so
like an
it
episode
sets the
because
mood.
it actually.
Go ahead.
It starts first with like the first chapter starts with an action scene. It saves all the things. Then the second half of the episode goes.
Yeah, it gives you the
into,
concept of what's going on and what the
Yeah,
motivation is for our characters.
Yeah.
Now,
And then the third one is that, and this part now is just the adventure
nope,
starts.
wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's only half of that. Another portion of this. Okay. So the third chapter focuses on the Star Readers. Remember when I said the Star Reader Tower? Star and the Star Palace. That is a tower of records, and the Star Readers are the ones who keep track of those records and tell the future, and also do like special divination magics. And we're going to be throughout this book, we'll be coming back to the Star Readers over and over again to learn new things specifically about. One sec. Toe beans.
Dummies.
Anyway, we'll be learning more about the history that's causing this situation through the Star Readers, basically. But I gotta pee. Are you gonna stay here or go?
I'm gonna go, guys. I have
Okay.
to get ready to get some sleep. I have to go to sleep for tomorrow. During the weekend, I'll be right back. I'll be back during the weekends, just
Big
hanging out.
McThinkies from McSpankies. I McSpanky, your Panky.
All right, take care, guys. I love you all. Bye bye.
Okay, I will be right back, chat. I'm gonna go pee. I went to wash my hands and I almost forgot to turn the fucking water off when I was done. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Okay, I'm back. Let me see who's online. I want to see if I can get another person in. No, I guess it's just me. Ah. The first rays of the morning sun exposed the charred ruins of Ninomia Palace. Ninomia? Ninomia? Ninomia. Ninomia. The charred ruins of Ninomia Palace. While others picked through the acrid-smelling debris, one man stood aloof, gazing fixedly at the smoldering beams. Wrapped in a single robe of deep blue cloth, he appeared oblivious to the noisy hubbub around him. Arched brows that seemed almost brush-drawn topped his clean-cut features, and his brown eyes shone beneath them with an intense light. His name was Shuga. Shuga. His name was Shuga, and he was rumored to be the most gifted young star reader in the country. It should not have caused a fire, he muttered. If I'm right, this creature's nature is water. Worship me. A line from the official history of New Yogo flitted through his mind. Recently, the legend had begun to plague his thoughts. Worship me, for I am the keeper of the water in this land. Worship me, for I am the keeper of the water in this land. In return, I will charm this spring so that your fields will always bear plenty. With these words, a water demon had tried to deceive the first Makato, Torogaru. Could that same demon now have possessed Prince Chagam? Shuga frowned, gripped by a cold fear. But 2 centuries have passed since New Yogo was founded. How could a monster opposed to the divine ruler have survived for so long? The Yogoan were not native to the Nyoro Peninsula. Originally, the land had belonged to a large-jawed, dark-skinned Yaku, who lived in villages scattered across the fertile plain. There they had hunted the wild creatures and used fire to clear small plots for farming. Long ago, Torogaru, the divine founder of New Yogo, had forsaken his war-torn kingdom to lead his people across the sea. And build a new country. Fuck. Sorry, I was responding to something. Okay, back to it. The Yugoan were not native to the Nyoro Peninsula. Originally, the land had belonged to the large-jawed, dark-skinned Yaku, who lived in villages scattered across the fertile plain. There they had hunted the wild creatures and used fire to clear small plots for farming. Long ago, Torogaru, the divine founder of New Yogo, had forsaken his war-torn kingdom and led his people across the sea. And built. That's supposed to be and built. Across the sea and built a new country. Now that legend from the distant past threatened to disrupt Shuga's life. If someone else didn't foul it up first. Kai clicked his tongue in disgust. This time it seems the Master Star Reader chose the wrong man. Now look what's happened. It's made everything so much worse. Turning his back abruptly on the smoking timbers, he strode away. It had been his turn to watch the stars last night, and he had not slept. Exhaustion dragged at his eyelids. Yet he hesitated only a moment before deciding. He would return to the Star Palace to request an audience with the Master Star Reader. Shuga fought his way One sec. Something smells funny. I gotta check this out. We're gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back, chat. I'm pretty sure my mail is here, and I gotta go check it. Be right back, chat. Give me a second. Give me a second. Filters. Copy. Filters. Paste. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Ugh. You know what I never understood? They have these fucking, like, Axe body sprays and stuff. Why do men use Axe body spray? Just buy some fucking Glade and spray your body down. I know that sounds weird. That's not the purpose of it, but it smells good. People like the smell. So why bother buying, like, a premium product when you could just buy a fucking, like, 50-cent thing of Glade and just spray your body down with coconut, you know what I mean? Anyway, back to it. There was nothing in the mail for me either. Shugo fought his way against the flow of people, hurrying toward the smoking ruins. Passing out of the gate to the palace, he headed quickly toward the east quarter of the Ogi no Kami district, where the Star Palace was located. Kosenkyo, the capital of New Yogo, meant shining fan, and true to its name, it unfolded from its center in Ogi no Kami, or the handle of the fan. At the river's fork near the mountains. Oh, that was a continuation. I'm a fucking idiot. That's such a long sentence. Kosenkyo, the capital of New Yoga, meant shining fan, and true to its name, it unfolded from its center in Ogi no Kami, or the handle of the fan, at the river's fork near the mountains. Ogi no Kami was divided into four quadrants. In the north quadrant lay the majestic Yogo Palace, where the Mikado lived, its roof tiles trimmed in blue and gold. In the west stood Ichinomiya Palace, the home of the first prince, and Inomiya Palace, the home of the second prince. Sanomiya Palace, in which the third queen resided, was located in the south quadrant, and Hoshinomiya, or Star Palace, where the Star Readers lived, sat in the east quadrant. A high plastered wall separated the entire. Fuck! Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Okay. A high plastered wall separated the entire district of Ogi no Kami from Ogi no Naka, the center of the fan, where the mere nobility lived. And through the middle of the wall, past the Great South Gate, opening onto the broad Fuck! 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 Oh, fuck. I can breathe, but now I'm sneezing. I never did call Fracta cool in front of chat. That's why we streamed today. That was the whole bit. We started streaming because he dared me to call him cool in front of chat, and he just forgot to enforce that. Hi, York. All right, back to it. Where was I? Through the middle of the wall, past the great south gate, opening onto the broad main street that ran through the center of the capital. Shuga crunched along the gravel path from Ninomiya Palace, thinking... Shuga crunched along the gravel path from Ninomiya Palace, thinking about the legend he had memorized during his apprenticeship as a star reader. It unfolded in his mind with the scent of musty paper. Once on a large continent far to the south, many kingdoms grew and flourished. The most powerful of these was Yogo, and it was there that the great seer Kainen Nanai was born. I need to switch to a different song. This song is fucking me up. I love the Moribito OST, but that I can't be having lyrics. Highly gifted, he could see what happened in distant places and predict the future by reading the stars. When he reached manhood, he dedicated his life to Tendo, the law of the universe, by which our supreme god Tenno Kami governs all that happens in this world. No, it's the Moribito OST. We're reading Moribito! What do you mean, Disco Elysium OST? Fuck off! I'll fight you. Come here. Say that to my face, York. Now it happened one day that the king of Yogo fell mortally ill, and his 4 sons launched a bloody war over the succession. The third-born son, Yogo Torugaru. The third-born son, Yogo Torugaru, grew weary of this bloodshed among brothers, and he declared that he would renounce his right to the throne. At the age of 25, he left the capital and began living in quiet seclusion with his wife and child. One night, Kainen Nanai appeared at his door. Bearing a strange prophecy that was to... Thank you. Bearing a strange prophecy that was to transform his fate and that of Nyoro Peninsula. Sail across the northern sea, he told Torugaru. There you will find a peaceful paradise on a green and verdant peninsula. In that land, the voice of Tenno Kami can be heard more clearly than anywhere else. Rugged mountains will protect you from northern invaders, and the sea will guard you against attack from the mainland. Build your capital on the fan-shaped plain at the fork of the river, flowing from the misty mountains. You must establish the power of Tenno Kami in that land, for you were born as his son to do his will on earth and are protected by his divine grace and favor. The rumor of Nanai's prophecy spread rapidly. Many flocked to Torugaru's side, intent on following the son of their god to paradise. Torugaru resolved to leave his homeland behind, and he led a fleet of ships across the Shi. This is how we say sea in Japan, Shi. Torugaru resolved to leave his homeland behind, and he led a fleet of ships across the sea. Nanai read the stars from the deck, guiding them safely across the mighty deep to the green peninsula of Nyoro. Torugaru traveled upriver toward the misty blue mountains. Torugaru traveled upriver towards the misty blue mountains until he came to a fertile plain between the 2 rivers, just as was prophesied. Torugaru was a peaceful man. He had no intention of overcoming the indigenous Yaku by force. The Yaku, however, frightened... Yeah, of course this story says this, right? The Yaku, however, frightened by the arrival of strangers from a foreign land, abandoned their villages and fled into the mountains. Faithful to Nanai's instructions, Torogaru built a magnificent capital on the plain and began farming the land. That year, however, not a single grain of rice was harvested. Nanai's star reading revealed that an evil spirit envied Ten no Kami's power and cursed the river's source, causing the crops to fail. Nanai beseeched Ten no Kami to aid Torogaru, his heaven-born son. For 7 days and 7 nights he remained lost in prayer, taking no food. On the night of the 8th day, the god spoke, "Give Torogaru a sacred sword, engraved with my seal. He and 8 mighty warriors must travel to a spring deep within the misty blue mountains. There he will find one whose soul has been devoured by this wicked spirit. It must be slain with the sword and its blood spilled into the river to wash away the evil spell. Only then will this land be purified and blessed with my bounty." Then I took the king's sword and engraved on it the god's symbol, the North Star. Hokuto no Ken! No, nobody? Hokuto no Ken! Ugh, sorry, I was drinking water. Ugh. This same sword, named Star's Heart, has passed down through the royal line to this day. Torogaru chose from among his vassals the 8 most just and courageous warriors. Then, armed only with the sacred sword, he pushed his way deep into the mountains. Upon a mountain path, the warriors met some Yaku, who were weeping bitterly. "Why do you grieve?" Torogaru asked. They answered him, "A demon ate the soul of one of our children, and now the boy has disappeared into the mountains, disguised in the demon's shape. This same evil creature awakes once every 100 years. So it has been since ancient times." Throwing themselves upon the ground before Torogaru, they begged him to slay the monster and save them all. "Fear not," he told them. "For I am protected by Ten no Kami, who sent me to perform this very task." Further up the river they climbed until they came to a dense wood where the mist lay deepest. There they found a spot where the water gushed from the ground. Beside it sat a young boy. When he saw Torogaru, he pointed to the spring and said, "Worship me, for I am the keeper of the water in this land. In return, I will charm this spring so that your fields will always bear plenty." Torogaru realized the evil creature had reassumed the boy's appearance. Undeceived by its words, he swept Star's heart from its scabbard. The boy transformed into the slippery water demon and attacked him. For 3 days and 3 nights, Torogaru and his 8 mighty warriors fought the demon. At last they severed its head and let the blue blood that gushed from its neck pour into the spring. A flash of lightning split the heavens and struck the spring, filling it with light. And the water burst up into the sky. Purified by the heavens, it turned to rain, which fell upon the earth and cleansed it of the demon's influence. Thus Torogaru brought bountiful harvest to the land and became its first Mikado, our divine ruler. He named the land New Yogo, which means new land blessed by Ten no Kami. That's stupid. And that is how Torogaru proved he was truly the son of Ten no Kami and protected by his grace. As Shuga approached the Star Palace, his mind went back to Torogaru's mentor, Nanai. The Star Readers have guided the people since the country's founding. He thought, fuck. The Star Readers have guided the people since the country's founding, he thought. Nanai had become Master Star Reader, and it was he who instructed the first Star Readers in the laws of Tendo. He sought out boys who showed unusual promise, regardless of rank, and brought them into the Star Palace for training. brought them to the Star Palace for training. The one who proved most talented eventually rose to the supreme rank of Master Star Reader, versed in all of the secret knowledge and rituals. Even 2 centuries after Nanai's death, it's still the same, Hyuga mused. While most people believe the Mikado is in charge, it's really us Star Readers, led by our master who guide his decisions. The instant Hyuga passed through the Stargate, which was studded with mother of pearl to symbolize the brilliance of the stars, his troubled mind filled with calm. He had lived here for 8 years now, yet every time he entered, he felt the same flood of peace. And as always, he thought that anyone other than a Star Reader would experience indescribable loneliness at the sight before him. While lush green trees surrounded all the other palaces, the Star Palace was encircled by a vast courtyard of white sand, with not a leaf nor blade of grass to be seen. Every Star Reader knew the reason for this. The slightest sigh could become an enormous obstacle when trying to catch the faint whisper of the gods in the movement of the heavens. Thus, to accomplish their task, the Star Readers had to block out every distraction. Not just sounds, but their awareness of other creatures and their own... Not just sound. What the fuck? Not... No. 1 second. Fucking autoplay. Why is... What? Who put Go Speed Racer Go onto the Moribito soundtrack? Psychos. There we go. The slightest sigh could be... No, that's... already read that. Not just sounds, but their awareness of other creatures and their own thoughts and desires. This was why the first master Star Reader, Kainen Nanai, had insisted that the palace be surrounded by sand. He had also forbidden anyone but single men to live in the precincts, because family too could be a distraction. Married men lived in Oginonaka and traveled from there. The sand shifted softly under Shuga's feet as he walked toward the palace, a perfect hexagon of white stone roofed with black tiles, the Star Tower. Where readers on duty read the sky day and night, soared up from the center. When he had first seen it, Shuga felt he had stepped into a new world. No longer was he a fisherman's son. If he succeeded in becoming a Star Reader, he would gain noble rank, a place in the sanctified world, and eventually the power to run the country's affairs. Now, 8 years later, the tranquility of that space paved in white sand had penetrated his very soul. This was the only life he knew. Morning was the slowest time of day at the palace. An elderly man moved his broom methodically near the entrance, sweeping the sand smooth. When he noticed Shuga, he stopped and silently bowed his head. Entering the palace from the bright light of day, Shuga needed a second. Right? Right, Chad? Fuck. Entering the palace from the bright light of day. No, that's not it. Entering the palace from the bright light of day, Shuga needed a second to adjust to the dimness within. Everything was perfectly still. Although close to 100 people lived in the palace, the sound of movement and the hush of voices were swallowed by the silence. Shuga removed his sandals inside the dirt-floored entranceway and stepped onto the chill stone tiles of the corridor. He headed toward the Master Star Reader's room deep inside, tendrils of smoke trailing after him from the incense burners at each of the building's 6 corners. A white cloth hung beside the door to the Master Star Reader's room, a fact Shuga noted with relief. Right. Purple would have meant that he was meditating and could not be disturbed for at least a day, perhaps many. He was about to announce his presence when the door suddenly slid open. Unfortunately, the short, middle-aged man who appeared there happened to be the last person Shuga wanted to see at that moment. His superior, Gakai. Shuga bowed and drew back politely. Gakai swept into the hall, and for an instant Shuga thought that he would pass him by, but the older man stopped and stared at him suspiciously. What's your business with the Master Star Reader? If it's about Anomia Palace, I have already informed him in detail. I wish to ask a question about how to read the stars last night, Shuga answered quietly. Gakai snorted derisively. Really? Then why do you smell like smoke? Shuga's expression remained unmoved. I went to see the Star Palace after I finished reading. I went to see the palace after I finished star reading. Before Gakai could open his mouth, a voice from inside the room. Is that you, Shuga? Shuga straightened abruptly. Yes, Master Star Reader. Come in, you've arrived at a good time. There's something I want to discuss with you. Gakai glared angrily at Shuga before stalking away. A large room inside the door was tiled in stone. The far end of the room was raised above the stone floor and covered in thick mats of woven reeds. Heavy brocade curtains concealed the master's sleeping quarters on the left, while the right side of the room opened onto the inner courtyard with the star tower at its center. At the moment, all the wooden shutters were raised, and the white morning sun filtered smoothly through the opening. Which was covered by a thin curtain. Sorry, I needed to breathe. Fuck! Oh, stretchy. At the moment, all the wooden shutters were raised, and the white morning sun filtered softly through the opening, which was covered by a thin curtain. The Master Star Reader was sitting on the platform in the sunlight. His legs folded under him. One hand stretched out toward the warmth of a charcoal brazier. Brazier. Why do I say brazier? One hand stretched out toward the warmth of a... Fuck! One hand stretched out toward the warmth of a charcoal brazier. His name was Hibi Tonan. Large and sturdy, with broad shoulders, he looked more like a warrior than a star reader. At 74 years of age, his eyebrows had turned pure white, and his large eyes were still so keen and piercing that Shuga automatically tensed when they gazed at him. And a majesty that only came from many years of wielding great power emanated from him. But it was the sharpness of his wits, undimmed by age, that commanded Shuga's respect. Shuga knelt on the stone floor before the platform and bowed deeply. The master inclined his head slightly and spoke it. The master inclined his head slightly and spoke it real good. Last night seems to have been very busy. Fuck. The master inclined his head slightly and spoke. Last night seems to have been busy. Are you here about Nanomia Palace? Fuck. Are you here about the Nanomia Palace incident? Yes. Good. I wish to speak with you about that. Gakai, with whom you seem to have been arguing at the door, just reported, with evident joy, that the prince burned to death, and therefore our problem is solved. Shuga raised his head and looked up at him. Your pardon, master, but I'm afraid I do not agree. Master Star Reader nodded. Nor do I, but tell me why. It was time, Shuga decided, to share what had been troubling him for so long. When you first summoned Gakai and me and told us that some creature had nested within the prince's body, it reminded me of two things. The first was the story of the evil water demon vanquished by her sacred ancestor Torogaru, which is recorded in the official history of New Yogo. The second was the sign of the Great Drought, which appeared in the sky at midsummer this year. Although nothing has happened yet, the omens indicate that next year there will be a drought of terrible proportions, as we have already discussed. I was disturbed by the connection between these two things. So I went through the records in the storehouse and I discovered something very strange. The Nyoro Peninsula has been devastated by drought once. The Nyoro Peninsula has been devastated by drought about once every century. And according to the records, during the drought 100 years ago, a demon appeared and either ate a child or ripped it apart. A very bloody story, though it wasn't reported in much detail. This sounds exactly like This sounds exactly like the tale in the official history of New Yogo, where the Yaku claimed that an evil demon appeared every 100 years to devour a child's soul. Exactly a century has passed since that time. Surely this can't be coincidence. I realize how grave a sin it is to doubt that our sacred ancestor. I realize how grave a sin it is to doubt that our sacred ancestor vanquished. Fuck. I realize how grave a sin it is to doubt that our sacred ancestor vanquished the water demon and purified the land. And yet a true star reader should never allow the fear of being disrespectful to prevent him from sharing what he has learned. A spark of humor gleamed in the master star reader's eyes. If I am right, Shuga continued, the nature of the demon possessing the prince is water. If that's true, then it couldn't possibly have set fire to the palace. For this reason, I cannot believe the prince died in that fire. For some time, the master star reader stared silently at the pattern cast by the morning light filtering through the curtain. Finally, he raised his head and looked at Shuga. It seems I made the wrong choice. I should have let you handle this when you first asked permission. But Gakkai is the eldest disciple, and I thought to give him the opportunity to show his ability. My indulgence has made things much more complicated. He gazed keenly at Shuga, who bore his gaze stolidly. You are so young, only 20. Yet it appears that you alone have the capability to become my successor. I must warn you, however, if you get involved with this any further, there can be no turning back. Are you still willing? Shuga nodded without hesitation. I feel there is some deeper meaning hidden in these events, he said. That may be, but let me tell you one more thing. The work that must be done is not pure and noble. If you become involved, you will be forced to seek the dark side of the sacred Star Palace, a side dirtier and uglier than you have ever imagined. A side dirtier and uglier than you have ever imagined. A chill touched Shuga's heart, and he felt his skin prickle. He was, he realized, standing at a crossroads in his life. I was taught that this world is a tightly woven tapestry of light and shadow, he said. As a star reader, I must encounter the shadow, no matter how dark and crooked the road. If it leads to Tendo, I will follow it. There was no longer any hint of amusement in the master star reader's eyes. They burned with an intensity. They burned with an intensity that Shuga had never seen before. Keep that thought in your mind always, for it will become the light that illuminates your path. The road to becoming Master Star Reader is filled with a darkness terrible and foul. If you stumble and fall, you will be lost forever. He stood up and abruptly raised the cloth curtain, peering into the inner courtyard. Peering into the inner courtyard. There was not a soul in sight. He lowered the curtain and sat down again. That our sacred ancestor, the first Mikado, vanquished the evil water demon and purified the land, he began quietly, is proof that the royal line is descended from the gods. Just think of what would happen if people knew the same demon now possesses the Mikado's son. It is for this reason that the Mikado has twice attempted to murder the second prince. Shuga could only stare at him in astonishment. This is not the time to condemn the cruelty of killing an innocent boy. The Master Star Reader continued. Both attempts were carefully planned and to look like accidents. The first was intended to scald the prince with water from the hot springs, but instead he slipped and fell into the bath. The second attempt occurred yesterday, when the ox pulling his carriage received a shot from a dart as he crossed the bridge from the mountain. The ox panicked and threw the prince into the river. But while he fell from a great height, he was rescued by a bodyguard, a woman who just happened to be passing at that moment. Water, Shuga exclaimed. Water, Shuga exclaimed. Both attempts involved water. That's right. It was I who planned them. I believe that if his life were in danger, the creature inside him would reveal its true nature. It seems it is indeed related to water. Then last night's fire. Did you order the palace burned in order to kill him? The Master Star Reader The Master Star Reader smiled The Master Star Reader smiled ruefully. It is true that I planned to use fire to kill him at some point, but not last night. I intended to wait until the other attempts on his life were no longer fresh in people's memories. Besides, I wanted to find out just what that creature is. So it certainly wasn't I who started the fire. Then who? Personally, I suspect the Second Queen. She's a very intelligent woman. I think she sensed her son's life was in danger and made a plan to help him escape. Ikai was foolish enough to tell her what he suspected, and she immediately sent a letter to Master Torogai asking for information. I issued orders to have Torogai captured and killed, but that old magic weaver disappeared without a trace. Several hunters are still looking, but I have no word. Hunters? Men who live in the darkness of this palace. Assassins who act at the bidding of the Mikado or myself alone. No one except the two of us knows who they are. You are now the third to know that they even exist. You, too, will use them. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Whoops. Huh. Cold sweat trickled down Shuka's spine. Dark side of the Star Palace. He had never imagined that the Master Star Reader would go calmly about... He had never imagined that the Master Star Reader would go calmly about something as horrifying as this. He felt a strange hollow fear, as if the familiar world around him had suddenly transformed into darkest night. The Master Star Reader apparently divined his thoughts. Do you regret the choice you've made? No, Shugo replied. Good. There is another reason I believe it was the Second Queen who aided the prince's escape. I received a message from the hunter who was spying on Ninomiya Palace. According to him, the queen invited the bodyguard who saved her son to dinner. She could have given the woman money and been done with it. Yet she chose not only to invite her to be entertained at the palace, but also to stay the night. Excuse me. I gotta drink some water. Sorry. This bodyguard disappeared during the uproar over the fire and has not been seen since. So you think the queen... God damn it. Do you think the queen placed the prince in her keeping? Who is this bodyguard? A drifter. According to the hunters, she looks like she's from Kanbal. Yet she speaks Yogoan. Without a trace of an accent. She is known as Balsa Spearwielder. As she has won considerable fame as a bodyguard, she must be a formidable woman. Shuka frowned. A female, spear-wielding bodyguard? She must be a strange woman indeed. 4 hunters have already been sent after her, so it's only a matter of time before we know more. Their instructions are to find her, and if she has taken the prince... kill her and... Their instructions are to find her, and if she has taken the prince, kill her and bring the prince to me. He looked hard at Shuga. You have not slept since you read the stars last night. Go, get some rest. I don't know where I gotta go. Go, get some rest. And at the 3rd bell, come to me in formal dress. Tonight, I will introduce you to the Mikado. Shuga felt his blood race. He bowed low and backed out of the room. He knew that he had just taken his first step. He knew that he had just taken the first step along a path from which he could never turn back. The path to becoming the Master Star Reader. But right now, that position did not look as brilliant as it once had. And that is where we will leave off for the day. And now we're going to go play games. Yay! Yay! Video game time! Time to play video games! So give me 1 sec. I'm going to stop the stream and restart it.